So now, having said all that, we obviously shouldn't discount lists that have been compiled by professional publications, bloggers, and other communities. You may be wondering about all the great online resources that can help you with RA, and we'll get to those. But the great thing about lists that you've compiled is that they're specific to your community and they involve your collection. Budgets are limited. We can't buy every new book that someone wants. We can't even ILL them all. Working within your collection can save you and your students tons of time and frustration. So as far as pre-made lists for children and through teens go, Common Sense Media has some great ones, as do the ALA, obviously, Time Magazine, NPR, and the New York Public Library. The ones on the slide here are just a few examples. The problem is that these places tend to list books as being, quote, the best of, period, rather than being specific to genres or appeals. Reading Rocket is one place that has some great themed lists for kids. Popular publications like BuzzFeed and Cosmo are also jumping on the train with lists specific to YA fans. They do a lot of 10 YA books that every adult should read type of lists. They're all great, and we should absolutely be checking out what others are recommending. But again, they're very broad lists for the most part. You want to make sure that when you're putting a book in someone's hand, you're pretty sure that there's at least something about it that will appeal to them. Award lists are also great to look at, and I highly recommend at least grabbing the award winners that pertain to your community every year. But bear in mind that the people giving these awards aren't the people you're trying to reach in your school. Awards are mainly given out by adults, experts in their field, yes, but adults who have opinions on what kids should be reading, what they should be taking in. They're reading these books from an adult perspective. We don't experience things in the same ways that kids do. So it's absolutely vital that we aren't relying entirely on lists made by people that aren't in our community and don't know our kids. I'll use a personal example and talk about another adult book, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. It was hugely popular a few years back, winning both the Pulitzer and the Carnegie Medal for Excellence in Fiction. In my public library at the time, we could not keep a copy on the shelf for a good 6 months after its release. It didn't do anything for me. I never even got past the first chapter. I probably put it down and scrolled through Instagram for a few hours. Now, yes, I know how to make a face mask out of raw aloe vera and how to tightline my lashes, but I also probably looked at 100 other posts that I don't remember. I could have spent some of that time engaging with a book if I'd had the right one. So we all know that kids don't have a lot of time to get into the library during the day, whether it's the school library or the public library. So give them digestible little book snacks. Start with one list, one small section of a list even. I go with 15 books personally. Market these books. Create physical brochures with pictures on the cover and jacket blurbs. They can take these home, they can stick them in their backpack. Hopefully at some point they find them in their backpack. Make posters for your hallways. Kids don't have time to read blurbs as they're walking by, so feature the opening line of your book or a memorable quote from it. Make displays front and center of your library. Pick a spot where everyone can see them and go to town. If you can, decorate the ever-living heck out of it. I like to use reusable paper cutouts of things like hearts, stars, explosions, unicorn heads, whatever, coupled with printouts of mini versions of the hall posters. Take a popular show or YouTuber or whatever and maybe play a game where you guess what kind of books they would like. That could go in your display. Put cutouts of their faces next to the books. Get creative. Have fun. This is another great time to enlist the help of your kids. Get your art classes or artistic students involved. I saw one library that had an entire window that would be painted seasonally. Get them in there and working with you to appeal to their peers. If you've got Sora, get a book river going. Heck, make one and put it on your homepage. If your catalog supports the feature, get a couple going on there too. Have teachers and staff weigh in and make their own rivers. This is a great opportunity for them to pick out titles that will complement their subjects or specific units. If you're in a public library, reach out to your local schools. Ask those teachers. Get the library a Pinterest and save those book rivers as boards. Kids might not use Pinterest too much, but their parents do, and so do your coworkers. So, as one of my all-time favorite authors, Gail Carson Levine, wrote in Ella Enchanted, quote, "You are free to love or to loathe so long as you go." For our purposes, I'll say so long as you use. YouTube is the most used platform by kids and teens, followed closely by Instagram and Snapchat. I don't know the data on TikTok usage, but anecdotally, I can tell you it's extremely popular among kids and teens. I sorry. It's so important that you get these apps and you get good at using them. Not just familiar, but good. Figure out how to edit and export snaps. Use stickers and backgrounds. Find out what a boomerang is on Instagram. Figure out the difference between a video you can post on your Instagram and one that you need to use IGTV for. Find out who's doing things on these platforms that you can interact with. Repost some of those gorgeous book photo shoots, those funny book talks, etc. How do you figure that out? Get to know your hashtags. Which ones are you using specifically for your library? I suggest the acronym of your school plus lib, like LVA lib or SLHS lib. But if you think of something else snappy and easy to remember, go for it. Find out what publishers, advertisers, sellers, enthusiasts, and other librarians are using for their hashtags. The better you get at your hashtag game, the more people are going to visit your account and like your posts. The more attention your posts get, the more likely they are to be seen. Plus, the more followers you have, the cooler your students will think you are. That street cred goes a long way towards getting them to talk to you. So, here's a list of the references I used to compile this workshop. And next is also a list of resources that I think you should check out if you are looking to improve your readers' advisory services. This is just a very short list of people that I've either directly mentioned or referred to in this workshop, or that I use myself all the time. I cannot stress enough how fantastic Becky Stratford is. She is the queen of RA. Go check out her webinars and blogs, which is RA for All. Jennifer Lagarde is also another great one to follow for all things book advertising related. She introduced me to book snaps and book bentos. She has got a ton of great stuff up her sleeve. Erin Cataldi does a great blog over on Reader's Advisory, and Novelist actually has some fantastic articles on their blog too. On Instagram, at Excuse My Reading and at Sam's Library _195 do phenomenal jobs of making books look incredible. Never underestimate the power of a good book photo shoot. Publishers also do some great ones on Instagram too. Little Brown, Penguin Teen, and Simon Teen are all particularly good at what they do. They make posts about books that go together, that work well together. They make them look pretty, they make them look snappy, and they engage you. Don't hesitate to reblog or feature someone else. That's perfectly fine. Whatever you do, just get to know these platforms. So thank you everyone for attending this workshop. I had fun putting it together, and I hope that you got something out of it. If there is anything you take away from this, please let it be talk to your community. Talk to them. All right, take care and have a great rest of your day.